Hey guys, welcome back to AFK Journey. Now, what we're on here is a new beta they've got. It lasts about a week and then it will be wiped. This is not the PT, what they call the PTR server, which is kind of like their soft launch server. This game is like completely different to it, and this is like changes that they're looking to implement for global. So I wanted to go through a bit of it, talk a bit about it. Now, they have made some changes from the PTR, like removing some characters and adding some other characters. So the first thing I want to look at is one of the new characters that they've added, which is, if you've played AFK Arena, you know it's the great man, Walker. Now, I can't believe they did this. This guy, for those that don't know the origin story of Walker, he came into AFK Arena and he was just bad from the release, and he was the Lone Ranger. As you can see up the top here, he's the Lone Ranger. In AFK Arena, we had a Ranger class. However, he was a warrior. And now, in AFK Journey, the dude's got guns. He's got like a 2-tile range. Everything, all of his kits are based behind guns. The man is now a rogue. It just made me laugh, and I know anyone else who knows Walker will get a good laugh out of that. But he actually does seem okay, like nothing crazy, a bit of crowd control, but I've made it my mission to use this man my whole playthrough because, you know, just a bit of respect to the man himself. But like I said, they have added, they've added him. I think there was one other new character, and then they've taken a couple of them out. So I'm really curious to see how they implement this at global launch, whether we are going to have a different roster to what they've already had in the quote-unquote soft launch, or what's going to go on there. But as we bounce out from here, it's pretty standard stuff. And basically, we have two main things that you're going to look to. You've got your quests. Now, they've got like a system, it's an option you can select that makes you auto-path through questing, which I think is absolutely fantastic. I love that system. It just makes the game so much easier to play. But we have the main world where you're going to be doing quests. Now, the other thing that's tied into this world is going to be your AFK stages, which is kind of like the core gameplay of AFK Arena. This is like the bonus on top. So you can see here, I need to reach Resonance level 45. That means get all my characters to level 45 and then complete AFK stage 80. So AFK stage 80, when we go to the AFK loot here, which we can collect, we also have these AFK stages, which will feel familiar to people to just the chapters in AFK Arena. So that's what we're looking at there. And you've basically got to progress those two things simultaneously. And that is where you're going to get the bulk of your progression. Now, they do have other things in here as well. Obviously, when we look to different things we can do, if I go into, whoops, not that one. This is events. If we go into battle modes, you can see here, I haven't unlocked everything yet. I've got a bunch of things left to I haven't even unlocked a labyrinth yet on this one, but we do have the dream realm, which is like your boss fights. We've got arena, which is self-explanatory arena. And then we do have this honor duel event, which for AFK Arena players, just think something similar to, it's like, think of Battle of Blood, War of Wits, those types of things, where you basically go in, you get drafted some heroes. It's a bit different. You do go through, you drafted some heroes, you build up your team, and then you go and fight. I believe it's intended to be PvP. I don't know if I'm just fighting bots at the moment because it's a limited beta, but in general, it's not a bad system. And if we look at 2 rewards, you can see here, got another 200 gems, not too bad. Let's go again, another 40k. And you can see the rewards that we're going to get as we progress through this one. And that's just through your victories. So honestly, not too bad. I'll jump in and show you guys one battle and what we look at. So basically, you get drafted like 3 characters at the start. And then every time you get this chest, and as you go through stages, you get extra of these currency honor badges, which you can then use to purchase things in the store. And you can purchase like different upgrades, blessings for characters. You can purchase different characters themselves, and then you can ascend them along the way. Like for instance, a Brutus, not a bad one to have, so I'm going to go pick up a Brutus, and that's pretty much where I'm going to leave it. Actually, let's pick up 3 random light bearers, see if we get dupes on anything. Okay, we got a dupe Rowan, which is good because I've been using Rowan. As you can see there, I go ahead and I ascend him, and now we can find a match. Now, if you lose 3 matches, you lose, but I think if you win, what do they say? I can't remember. I think it was 9 you need to win. Don't quote me. But you got to win a bunch and then you go. I haven't lost one yet, so hopefully we can still do that. And as you can see here, these characters with this little symbol under them, it means they're going to give me extra honor badges if I use them in this battle because I didn't use them in the previous battle. So that's what those mean. I'm going to leave Brutus out because I'll use him as my secondary tank and use him in the next battle. We're going to do something like this. Now, I want to use as many characters that have this symbol as possible to try and like gain that benefit. Now, we're going to put put Granny in here as well because she can be my off tank for anything coming from that direction while we've got the tank here. I don't have blessings on all of these characters, but that's going to be it. That's going to be my first 3 characters. It's going to show me their first 3 characters, and then we're going to bounce back through and we're going to take a look at this. So let's take a look at what we've got. That's that. We should be pretty fine here. So now let's just try and get a faction bonus. So let's just put let's put you in there because you're light bearers and you're going to give me the bonus. And now let's go with something like, literally, I don't think it really matters here. I'm just going to put Arden in. Actually, no, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put my Lycra in to play it safe. Just going to put Lycra in. Lycra should be fine. I've got the blessing on Lycra as well, which I couldn't be bothered swapping, which gives her additional energy every time she ults. So it basically means my Lycra ults, and then she ults, and then she ults, and we just kill the whole enemy team. If it even gets her. Here we go. Boom. She gets the extra energy. I mean, it feels like I must be fighting AI because I'm like, there's no way these battles should be this easy. So that's where we're at with that one. Like I said, I actually don't mind this game mode. I think it's quite cool. Not sure if it is genuine PvP or if we are still fighting bots, but that's a look at the new mode in like an event type mode. I don't know whether it's intended to be like a permanent mode and this is like the season ends or whether it is just an event mode. I'm not 100% certain on that one, but we'll have to wait and see. So those are the core things that we have. If we jump over into summons, I'm not too sure. I haven't checked up on too much on how this stuff has changed, but you can see recruit 18 more to get an epic hero. So we do have the pity as well for that epic hero, which isn't too bad. We've got the epic hero banner itself, which you have a wish list. We got the standard banner, which then you have your wish list. You can select which heroes you want. As always, you had to do 30 pulls into this one to actually unlock the wish list. But besides that, pretty self-explanatory. If we go to the actual, whoops, let's go back over here to rates themselves. You see we've got a 2.05 chance at the epics and then a 22.5 at the elites, but the elites are still very viable in this game, so that is not too bad. Over here on these ones, we've got a much higher rate. We've got the 5.22 and the 18.75 if we're looking at it. Now, then we also have the acorns, which are used for ascensions. I've got a ton of summon saves. We're going to do a summon video in the next day or two. I'm just saving up to do a big summon video, but that is basically what the game is looking like at the moment. Now, the whole story did get a revamp from where they were on the PTR server. You can see some of the things still haven't been translated. Obviously, we're in a beta. You can see we still got the Chinese text there. But I still think the great quality of life that they've introduced into the game recently was that auto pathing, where it will, like, if you're trying to do the quest, you can just hit tick and it'll teleport you to the closest area, auto path you to where you want to go. And what I do is I just auto path through the whole thing and skip everything. And then once I'm like sort of stuck, which I am now, then I'll go back to things like this and go, okay, let's defeat these enemies. Let's get these chests and get some extra resources. So I'll just go here, click this, hit run. And that runs me straight over to the enemy with the auto pathing. Oh, we got blocked there, but you guys get the gist. We go in, we do our battle. This one's a solo crucible, so we got to pay attention to the things. We can only use one character, and these always have a specific buff. Every time every time it is used, the ultimate can deal additional damage to each enemy up to 3 times. Ally buff. Normally on these things, this might be later on, but from the other version, normally they're immune to one type of damage. But normally we can just smack Valen in here and he just sort of sweeps everything. That's the way I normally do it over on the PTR in these early stages. So he should be fine to go ahead and do that. And then we get these bombs on them that then go ahead and explode. And basically we got to. This is like a race against the clock where we've got to try and kill them all before the time's up. And even though he's at low health, I'll just let him ult so we get the explosion, because that's just the whole premise of this thing. You just get your ult off, get all those things on, and get some AoEs, and away you go. But like I said, I do think they've done a good job of this. It feels a lot... The early progression, it's hard to describe exactly what it is about it, but the early progression on this beta definitely feels way better than when the PTR first launched, which I do love to see, because the early game is like for me, the most important part to get players into it, and then we can go into the deep stuff on boss fights and team strategies later on. But in general, it's pretty good. That's what we got there. Let's bounce out. Let's go get our rewards, and that's pretty much the gist of what we're looking at. And then besides that, we're just collecting our AFK loot, boosting our characters, progressing through, like I said, the AFK stages, and then going ahead and progressing through the story. And that is a look at what we've got so far. But like I said, we got Walker the Lone Ranger, who is a rogue in the game at the moment. That was the thing that made me laugh the most. I'll update you guys with more. We'll do some more gameplay stuff over the next coming week, and we'll do some summons and stuff like that. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.